Alright, so I'm going to be honest. I already recorded this video and my mic was not on for some reason. It's absolutely ruined my... No, it hasn't ruined my day because the Cavaliers just drafted Isaiah Mobley. I'm extremely excited that the Cavaliers, of course, made this pick. Now, again, I'm going to be honest here as well. I actually texted one of my mates probably an hour or so before this actually happened and said, don't be surprised if the Cleveland Cavaliers select Isaiah Mobley, just because, why not? I didn't really know who else we were going to take, and again, I was just like, well, let's see if it happens, and would you look at that, the Cleveland Cavaliers have selected Isaiah Mobley in the second round. For those of you who have no idea who Isaiah Mobley is, and kind of haven't connected the dots yet, he is actually the older brother of Cleveland Cavaliers star, power forward / center, Evan Mobley. Again, a very, very good young player on the Cavaliers. Probably should have gotten Rookie of the Year if I'm being completely honest. And now he gets to play with his brother Isaiah Mobley. To basically summarize what Isaiah Mobley is as a player, he's pretty much like Evan Mobley. He's going to give it his absolute all. He's a very, very good locker room dude. And although he might not be as good defensively as Evan Mobley and doesn't have the same height, he has a really nice jump shot when it comes to the three-point ball and the mid-range. He also has a really good knack of actually getting to the basket. Unfortunately, there are some issues though. Again, he is a 6'10" player who does play a bit of power forward and center, but just, he doesn't seem to be able to necessarily keep up with either position. He's kind of just like in the middle of, like, if there should be a position after power forward and one before center. It's kind of how I would describe Isaiah Mobley. The other thing is as well, is again, he's not exactly the fastest guy out there either, and his ball movement and handles does look a little bit odd. But when it does come to it, I think he could have a lot of potential on the defensive end, especially if he starts training with his brother again and they get that chemistry back up. Now, again, we've got to thank Isaiah Mobley, because if it wasn't for him, Evan Mobley wouldn't know how to play power forward. Because when they actually played together in college, Evan Mobley, the 7-footer, didn't just play center. No, they actually kind of swapped. One would guard the power forward, the other one would guard the center. So Evan Mobley actually ended up, learning kind of how to guard that center position, as well as how to guard the power forward position. And that's why Evan Mobley is now able to guard 1 through 5 in the NBA. So we really got to thank Isaiah Mobley for that. Again, to kind of put it into perspective as well, Isaiah Mobley has experience in guarding the center and the power forward as well. So I'm really excited to see both of them play together. Again, hopefully we get to see that one day. In terms of what the contract will be looking like for Mobley though, I think it will probably start off as a two-way, and he'll play a lot of basketball in the G League. We got to remember that there are a lot of players that the Cavaliers are going to go out and get in free agency, and Isaiah Mobley is not going to be a dude that I think is an instant roster spot. Although it would like to be said, we are finally getting some backup bigs to replace our current backup big, which is Ed Davis. Again, we really struggled when it came to that backup center position. When Jarrett Allen or Evan Mobley got injured, Ed Davis would be the backup big, and it just wouldn't be a good thing at all. But now we finally got some guys. We've actually drafted Khalifa Diop as well, which I'll probably be making a separate video on him. Really interesting about that one. There's reports saying we're actually drafting and stashing the guy, which is going to be interesting in itself. But Isaiah Mobley is a guy that's going to come in and probably get some minutes, especially if, again, touch wood, hopefully it doesn't happen, but Isaiah Mobley and Jarrett Allen were to get injured, which, again, it did happen a fair bit last season. Hopefully it doesn't again. One last time, touch wood. But again, Isaiah Mobley is going to be there now to kind of see it. Now, there is kind of an argument being made of, why did we take Isaiah Mobley when we could have probably got him as an unrestricted free agent who is undrafted? Pretty much the reason why we actually drafted him over someone who might have been a little bit better at that pick is, I think, as we probably said to ourselves, okay, we could draft a guy who's maybe a little bit better, that we know we might not necessarily like in the end, and that's probably going to play G League ball anyway. Or we can take a dude that we know we're going to like, his brothers with Evan Mobley, going to develop eventually, he's going to get that guaranteed two-way contract and all of this stuff, over a dude that, again, kind of would be taking his spot. Pretty much, they basically said, are we going to send Isaiah Mobley straight to the G League or send Isaiah Mobley on a two-way contract? drafting him gives him the two-way contract, pretty much big option, which I think they'll definitely take. If they didn't draft him and drafted someone else, you probably have to give that player the two-way contract, which just kind of means that Isaiah Mobley would probably float in the G League for quite a fair bit until that other dude's contract, expires. Because you can't just draft a guy and not give him a contract. You know what I mean? You can't just draft a guy and he just goes to the G League and he's not on a two-way deal or anything like that. So, pretty much the way they did it with Isaiah Mobley is they drafted him and now he'll just go on a two-way contract and kind of do his thing. He will be a bit of a project player and it will take time to develop, but I'm sure it's going to be all good. He has, again, a lot of trust. I have a lot of trust, personally, in the Cleveland Cavaliers and Kobe Altman. And I think it was a smart move by the Cavaliers to kind of make this happen. And I'm kind of interested to see how it's going to pan out. Again, if you were the parents of both the Mobley brothers, I think you would be goddamn proud. Imagine getting to go to Cleveland now and see both of your sons play. That would be absolutely awesome. I'm pretty sure the parents live in California, but I'm going to be honest. You guys might want to start considering packing your bags because both of your sons are playing in Cleveland, and I think you should go live in Cleveland to support them. That would be the ideal situation. I hope Isaiah Mobley's career turns out well, and he turns, and he kind of proves all those haters wrong, saying that we shouldn't draft him, this and that. Again, not saying they're wrong either. There's a good reason on why we probably shouldn't have drafted Isaiah Mobley, but at the end of the day, I think it was a smart decision, and it was a pretty interesting one that, I'm going to be honest, I kind of called and kind of tipped. But of course, if you haven't already, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for all the latest NBA content, NBA news, and just draft-related content. Comment your thoughts and opinions on the Cavaliers drafting Isaiah Mobley. Do you guys think it was a good idea? Do you guys think it was a bad idea? Of course, definitely let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Go subscribe to my gaming channel and my IRL/vlogging channel and my podcast as well. All of them will be linked down below. But as I was saying, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.